See you in the rabbit hole.
No, please edit that out.
Cut that out.
Dude, it's like the clown it. Dude, it's like, oh, yeah.
All right, on this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, we go over...
Do you practice that tone change? Like, when did you say, hey, I want my tone change to do this? And
It's
I'm
like
just
when I go into this mode.
Yeah.
Does it annoy you?
Welcome to... Wait, say it again? Hello and welcome.
No, it's... All right, it's another episode... Oh, sorry. No, I can't do it.
That's the same tone. You got it.
On this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast.
Yeah, see, the random
podcaster
fan.
voice, yeah.
Do you like it?
I like it.
I don't know.
Does it annoy you?
No, I mean, we've only been doing this for like 220 episodes, so it's...
220? What the?
Is it 213? What are we at?
No, we're about 220.
Yeah, we're about
220.
220,
Well, some of us are 220.
240.
Wow.
Some of us
Big
haven't
cats.
missed an episode.
Anyway, it's just going to be a good episode.
I'll try. All right, on this episode of the RSL...
No, you're doing great. This is great.
This is good.
On this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, we go over the big win against an old foe, not very heated rivalry, Kansas City. RSL gets the big win, 3-1. Spoiler alert. We talk about the game, our big takeaways, and anything else?
How many times you can kick someone without getting a yellow card?
Yeah,
Ooh,
Talking about that?
Yeah.
7. I think that's what we came up with.
Was 7? Was 7?
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember what we just talked about.
So anyway, you'll have to listen to the episode with Brennan to find out what we talked about.
We totally forgot everything we talked about.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right, another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. I'm a host, Brad Goble, joined by...
The Wonderwall, Tyler Thomas.
Wonderwall?
Oh, no?
And...
Brennan.
The Champagne Supernova.
The Champagne Supernova. It's a good song.
Yeah, I can't name another Oasis song, though, for Brant.
An Oasis song?
Yeah.
I can't either. They were not my speed.
Those are all Oasis?
Yeah.
Champagne Supernova?
Uh-huh. Someday you will find me.
I hate that song so much.
Sounds like he's whining through the whole thing.
Yeah, well, it's just like it's been played so often in all the wrong times.
Yeah, and then Wonderwall is Minnesota's song they sing
Oh.
So,
okay.
So
I
before...
was kind of mocking them, you know.
Yeah.
After the mocking part, but before we get started, just want to say, if you enjoyed the podcast, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Do us a big favor. That'd be awesome.
Whoop, whoop.
Follow us on all the social media.
Especially TikTok. You're getting a lot of cred on TikTok.
Well, yeah. Dozens and dozens of folks. But it's been a lot of fun.
Days.
I do enjoy TikTok. Maybe I enjoy social media a little too much. But do us a favor. Subscribe. Follow. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
So, RSL.
Taking on
Home game against an old foe.
Kansas City.
A once heated rivalry. I was doing a little research, and remember when Kansas City and Real Salt Lake, it was just like fisticuffs from the whistle, before the whistle. It's like the hockey when they go around before the game and they get into a fight. Yeah, that's kind of how RSL and Kansas City was.
Yep.
I'll stand back to a game in 2011.
Oh, wow.
A long time ago. I know.
If you forgot, Will Johnson, Javi, it was like one of those like old school rivalries. Somebody went in on Javi. Like
It was Roger Espinoza.
Okay, that's who it was.
Oh, yeah. I remember
And
that
Will
guy.
Johnson just started going nuts on his face, bro.
Yeah, Benny
He was
fell
just
harder.
done with it. And
Yeah.
Fellhaber too. And him and Kyle never liked each other because they were kind of competing for that last spot in the World Cup team. And Benny got it the first time, and then Kyle got it the next time. So,
And just to point out how long ago that was, it was early March, preseason 2011. Aiden Hezarkani, Xavier Gozo, 3 years old.
whoa.
That's how long ago it was.
That's why he wouldn't know a highlight reel from, say,
2008.
Johnson. Yeah, Will Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. He wouldn't know.
He probably wouldn't know
He
that.
probably wouldn't know because
Because he was like 1.5.
Or when Christ, he probably wasn't there when Christ scored his 100th goal, like we were.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Stuff
I know.
like that makes you a lifelong Real fan.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So basically, what you're saying is those got a couple of slackers who couldn't be bothered to show up when RSL was created in 2005.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Step it up.
Step it up.
Step
yeah,
it back. You can't step back in time. Just go from here. Be a fan now,
Turn
bro.
back time.
We can find a
Only Cher can do that, right?
find a way. All right, and two teams kind of doing similar things in different ways. RSL is kind of in a little bit of a rebuild, a revamp, kind of like they, remodeled their kitchen. And
Yeah,
kinda-
but we
Is
got
that really
upgrades.
safe to say? Because we kind of been in the rebuild for
well, there's kind of
a
been like
while. Like
But
I
we're
think we're
kinda
out of
hitting
the
the
weird
stride,
rebuild.
yeah.
I think we're just in the momentum phase.
last year we got doing the basement, and then it just kind of got out of hand.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think we didn't get the permit.
We were changing
and
contractors and all that
the
stuff.
neighbor called.
Neighbor
we were nice
called.
to the neighbor.
We didn't zone it right.
Yeah, it's like,
The lighting was all off for the
Or-
paint colors.
Yeah, RSL's doing their basement. They didn't get a paint. Yeah, I think Deloy called on the Millers because and
Yeah.
But they're getting it right now.
but Kansas
Which is
City
great.
they're just blowing.
No,
the thing up.
they're in the muck, man. They're deep down in there.
Yeah, there were a couple flashes from a couple players in this game and Jovic, and that was it.
Well, way to sum up the game.
Yeah,
That was their side. I'm not. We're just getting started on our side.
Well,
Come on now.
so the players that looked like they had possibility of something was Jovic, and then Harris was kind of like Cordova. You know what I mean? Like you wanted him to do more, but
Yeah,
he doesn't look like he's
spry. He's quick.
he looks
lively.
he looks like if the team was more stout, he'd probably have some better
be
looks
okay.
and he'd be
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but a struggling Kansas City team that. I was for the first time I was looking at the stats, and I was like expected win percentage, and I'm like, hell yeah, baby! It's in the 70 percentile. It was one of those games where if we lost, it's gonna ruin our season, kind of a deal. We went in there expecting to win.
Yeah.
yeah, that was expected. And they do have that Reynolds kid. He's only like 17,
Really?
if I remember right. Yeah, so there is some stuff there.
Is his last name Rap?
No,
With a W,
no, but his middle name is Saran.
Oh,
Solans.
All right, so starting lineup. Who's doing that?
You're doing it. You already have it
He
out.
started up top in the center.
All right, we're doing it backwards. We're starting with
Yeah,
Cabral,
dude,
the
start up
captain.
top.
I'll go back and forth. Solans up top, and then in goal, Cabral. And then under Solans, we had Gila Vogie,
kinda playing in that gap,
Caliscan, and Luna.
Wow.
And then
You
across
are
the back
all
line,
over the place.
we're going back and
You're
forth.
like
being
in a
creative.
C
Well, he has to use this bifocal part so that way you can see it. But we got Solans taking to that forward position. Then we got Gilavogi, Spearings, and Luna.
Luna came
and then
back. First start of the year.
in our midfield, we had Caliscan, which he was doing pretty good. And then on our wings, we had Catranis and Gozo. And then our three in the back was Quinton, Glad, and Engel.
And on the bench, we had two keepers. That was fun.
Yeah.
Junka, Stadohar, Ruiz, Dylan, Moisa, who needs more minutes, Kirklevitt, Mark Chuk, Parea, and Olatunji.
Kirkville. I don't know a lot of French, but I'm pretty sure the Ville is how you say that.
Oui.
But Gilavogi. Gilavog, that guy's good, dude.
Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan of him already.
Yeah.
He's so smart on the ball.
So let's
We
talk
started
about,
off real good though.
Let's start about that. We started off really well. RSL came out to play,
Front foot.
front foot, going forward, and Diego Luna. Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, he kind of wanted to announce it in a very special way.
Yep.
So he took the ball, and I love what he did there. We were looking at it from a bird's eye view, exactly directly behind where Diego got the ball in the.
Are you complaining about people like seats where
No, no,
other
no, no.
people have
No,
to
no,
sit
no.
too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that's where we were. We were in
Oh.
the extended press box. So for those of you that don't know where the press box is, it's behind the upper deck of the
North goal.
north goal on the stands behind the stands.
Right, in the temporary.
Yeah,
or
so behind the
soon-to-be-
temporary stands, back and like
Connected
a
to
foot
the temporary
above,
stands.
but still connected to the temporary stands.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the new press box is. So come by and say hi.
for this season.
Actually, don't. Then we
I was
can't
gonna
see.
say, like, don't.
If you come and say hi, we can't see. So sit down. Get out of the way. So
Are we
can watch the
complaining?
game.
No.
No,
complaining.
just about that guy that stood in our way. Just that guy. Whoever that was. Whichever fan that was.
No, it's just temporary. For anybody that's noticed, they're redoing the press box. They're making it all of that. Every stadium across the United States, the sporting environment, the boxes are what's important.
That's the big money.
And that's what all
A
the
big
fans care
motor.
about. The fans care about what's happening in the press.
No,
No, in
well,
the box, though.
in the-
They want the high end,
Right.
you know.
So that's why the press box is kind of prime. It might be a really good place to watch a game. But now that's going to be
dude.
some. I don't know if it'll be a special box, and then they'll figure out
For
something
someone special.
for the press because it's just the nature of where journalism is in the United States at the moment. It's in transition, it's in flux, and they'll figure it out. And you want your team to be successful, and
Wait, am I a journalist?
Well, where's VAR? Are they at the game?
No.
No. So where should the journalists be?
Watching
With
at home
VAR?
on TV.
No, what I'm saying is, well, you guys.
Do I get 6 different camera angles?
Well, it's just like one of
Yes,
those things.
let's
It's
do
like,
it.
okay, like you can get the exact same experience watching the game through the TV. That's why VAR is able to do that, and they don't have to come to all these games. So I don't understand why the press.
We
box
need
is so-
like 3 or 4 more cameras, though.
well, it's just a
And
transition.
we need gold line technology, and we need anyway.
It's just a democratization of
So
journalism.
Diego Luna
big
wanted
word.
to announce himself,
Yes.
and he. So the first thing we did well was press, the re-press, and our boy Caliscan was getting after it right away, forced a poor pass, and then they just zipped it right into Diego. I can't remember who passed it to him now, but Caliscan forced the quick pass.
Was it Glad?
Can't remember. It was on the right side, somebody over there. And they zipped it to Luna, and he turned and just started running at goal. And,
faded to the left, took a left foot.
well, the guy took away his right foot, right? Which
Yeah.
is smart. But I asked him post game, I said, hey, Diego, you kind of went left and didn't even hesitate and then just let it rip. He said, yeah, I think I've scored just as many goals left footed as I have right now in MLS play. And
He's
I'm
got
like,
the form for it.
At a kid, right? Yeah, and he just hit it. He hit it smooth, and he hit it right with the post. Like we could see, like right where to shoot from our vantage point.
Yeah, the crow's nest.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was so good that we were there to see.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
angle.
Yeah.
and it opened up, and I was like, shoot to the right, and the defender, the tall guy in the middle, that's got some potential. But he's pretty raw. What was his name? Number 57 or whatever?
How raw was he?
He was so raw.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. So he shielded him just enough that Diego's shot didn't have to be all that powerful.
Well, yeah, 'cause
Placement was precise.
it was precise, but luckily that goalie took a split step to the right. Because if he just took a split right where he was, he could have positioned left. So it got behind that center back and past the goalie. Luckily,
Yep.
I watched it again today. The replay. Solans made a beautiful run. Solans,
Yeah.
bro, we're
cut
gonna
in-
talk about this guy.
cut in front, and I think it looked like that's maybe he was kind of going to go
That's
the
why
other
the
way.
defender stepped.
And yeah, he
Right
turned
in
the
the way of the
defender
keeper.
around.
Yeah.
The shot goes behind the keeper or behind the defender.
Yep.
Who got turned around, and the pool scamp, who generally stands on his head when he plays RSL,
I know.
could not get to it. And it was 1-0 early, and we're thinking, all right, RSL is going to do what they need to do, which is what they did not do at all last season, which was win a game they're supposed to.
Well,
Oh, and it was assisted by Caliscan.
It was
He
Caliscan?
had 2 assists. in
Not
the
necessarily
game.
win, but
well, so one thing that we're seeing though is we're seeing such a success in having the ball and having a purpose. Like we are pressing and we are moving the ball far more intricately than we've ever done. We are able to use every channel of the field rather than just the outskirts trying to send a ball in. Like it's almost like we're finally like growing up as a actual team and we're finding a new identity, because before we were always the diamond or whatever, the triangle passing, we were always that. But now we're seeing the fruits of a lot of labor that's been happening, because Pablo in the past hasn't really had a style per se. He's kind of been that defensive minded, everything's through the pivots. But something has shifted this year that has made all the players just be able to like showcase what their talents are. Like you're just seeing no flaws in anyone. You're seeing all the best in every single position.
So is that a product of getting better players, or is that a product of Pablo being a better coach now?
He says it. He said it really, really well. It's a product of the process, because in order to get there, you first have to have the characters, what he talked about, have to have character on the field, off the field, blah, 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 blah. But the process
you just say blah, blah, blah after character when you're a character guy yourself.
Sorry, I talk about this every single day.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
really.
right. Let it sink into our listeners.
Well, it's better than yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
yada, yada over the good parts.
But no, when he was talking about the process and all that, it really shows, because it has to be, since it's a team thing, it has to be one mind, one entity growing in the same direction.
Now say the team is the star. Say it.
Well, it's not really the team is the star. The team is the sum of all the brilliant parts. And so when all the parts aren't able to showcase or just flow, then you can't have a successful team. And you're seeing it in a way that's really special compared to the other way you see it. Because like right now, you guys were talking about LAFC and how they haven't got scored on and all that stuff. You do not see the same type of process. That is a whole different way of doing it. It's kind of like a cheater way. Like when you're next door, like you're trying to, you're going to go camping and you buy a tent and your next door neighbor buys a fifth wheel trailer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like you're seeing the best way to get it done with what we have. And that's mixture of that young talent, mid talent, and then also the experienced players. But they all have to be on the same road, which is really hard to do.
And I also think that there are better players. I think RSL hit it out of the park with the players that they brought in. And they're not all DP level, but they have intangibles which were missing last season. Right? You can have a great player by all accounts. What we saw, that like Diogo, he's talented, right?
I didn't see it.
Well,
on the ball.
Oh, on the ball. On the ball. So I didn't see it.
On the ball, Diogo.
I didn't see it.
On the ball. Yeah, there was one game. But these guys seem to have some intangibles that, because they've played the game. There was one incident in the first half, I think, where Engel, there was like 2 or 3 guys on him from Kansas City, and they were trying to pressure him. And he just kind of faked right and kind of ended up squirting the ball out to his left and kind of left him and found himself some space. And I thought, oh, that was beautiful. That's kind of the difference between this year and last year, is that you have players that can do that. They don't panic. They're smooth on the ball. And they have their talent might not be higher, but their soccer IQ is.
See, that's a funny thing you saying that, because it feels like we need players that are outside the league to come in to like drive our league in that direction. Because when you talk about like SKC and all the players, and you talk about a typical MLS player, they don't do those things. They don't pass the ball a couple lines through. They don't get out of trouble very easy. Like their first touch is never pretty. Like when I always think of an MLS player, I always thought of what was his name? Crap, super old guy stomped on a dude. It's like Marty or something like that.
Oh, Dax McCarty.
I just, every time I watched him, I was like, this is a typical MLS guy. Like, there is nothing showy. He's not very quick.
Pass the ball sideways.
Yeah, so.
Nothing creative.
But then you look at, like, Guy Lavogie. This guy has experience in multiple leagues, Bundesliga, all that stuff. And you just see that it is just a different style, and also just the execution wise, it's just a different standard. And we've just been able to get lucky because the kids coming up have also had a little bit more diverse game styles, and the people that we've acquired all come outside of MLS. Like, they've really done a great job. I don't like MLS players. I hate them.
Well,
Sounds like you're not really into MLS players.
I don't like MLS style.
I think that's a product of American sports. How you play, right? The focus is on physicality. The focus is on all of the things except for, showboating, right?
Flair.
In a lot of ways, you don't show anybody up. in American sports. I mean, you don't do it on a soccer pitch either sometimes, but it's just a different approach to the game. And I think as MLS continues to grow, and players like all these young players are exposed to,
they're going to start going. Yeah.
It will kind of translate. I think it's just a fact that it's a difference between having a 30-year-old league and a 100-year-old league, and I think we'll get there. Maybe not.
Oh well, I mean, you look at Gozo. He's been from the academy playing all the way around. He does not play like a typical MLS kid.
Yeah, and
that's what's coming through. And Sergio Solans, I mean, well, he's Spanish, but still, he played UCLA. You just see the new generation is going to change the league for the better for sure. And it's super exciting.
It is. I think it's super cool.
So anyway, first half.
Do you know what I also hate?
What?
Team USA.
Crossbars. Oh.
Team USA sucks. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was a rough week for the USA, bro. We can get into that later, but a couple reasons why. But back to the crossbar.
Yeah, RSL was up
We were
1-0.
playing crossbar challenge in the first half. And Sergey hit it twice.
Good plays, though.
Sergey?
Dude.
They call him Serge?
Serge, I've
Sergey.
been saying it since the beginning of this. He is not
Sergey.
a college player. Like that guy came from overseas somewhere. Like
He
that.
played in Spain. He played in Geneva.
España.
Geneva?
Genola.
Oh, dude, this guy, man.
That's where they
So
made it granola.
freaking good. The way he presses, he gets behind. On the ball, he's so intelligent. He gets in between the lines.
Makes good runs off the ball.
Oh my gosh,
drags players away.
He is so dangerous.
Yeah, he was so close to having a hat trick. The first one, nice defensive play, hustle on RSL's part, and Guy Lavogie just lasers in across that the keeper can't get to. It's right where you want it to be, in the middle of the six.
Gets his shin on it. I don't.
Yeah, it was a
couldn't even
shin. It got past that center back, and he just threw his leg out. Boom, hits that top of the bar. Should have been in.
Boing.
But I mean, it was kind of a blind shot because he's going down while that ball's in crossing, and so he's got the defender right there, and that ball just goes right in between him and the defender, and it comes right off that shin and goes up instead of forward.
And the skill to even do that is
timing.
On that play was
The timing to get that
impressive
done.
anyway.
Oh, dude.
The odds of that ball not going in off of either player.
Oh yeah, it's favored going in for sure.
So that was close. Could have been 2-0, and maybe that kind of would have changed the game. But one of the things that RSL didn't do was take advantage of the opportunities that came to them in the first half.
Yeah.
Even though the stats, I think at halftime was like it was 50-50 possession, but somehow RSL
had every
was
possibility.
dominating the game. So maybe somebody messed up on the possession. But I remember we were
I know, we're like
50-50. What?
50-50.
So RSL, and
Well, they had more possession at the end of the game.
yeah,
By the
it's
end.
crazy.
Yeah.
But RSL they were creating chances, and they were being more dangerous, and felt like they were going to get that second goal. But last season, the difference between this season and last season is last year, they would have found a way. That after a goal in the fourth minute, maybe they parked the bus for 86 minutes, and that wasn't the case this game because they kept going forward. And that second time that Solans hit the post again, crossbar again.
They came in from the left, and he kind of did a spin and turn real quick and just blasted it off the crossbar. He smashed it off the crossbar.
Are you talking about the cross from Catranis?
Yeah. Was it Catranis that sent that
Yeah,
ball in?
Catranis sent a ground ball across, then Solans went with a heavy touch and it hit the top bar.
Yeah, he spun and hit it.
Yeah, super clean. He went with power. I mean, that was kind of the thing. All of his shots, he chose power over placement
Until the second half.
Yeah, and so, but when he does score in that second half, it was kind of funny because you watch Gozo take it down and you see a typical pass. If he sends that forward, Solans has a breakaway.
Yeah,
and he's got space and a good angle against the goalie, but he kind of holds it up. And luckily, SKC's Miller stays with him instead of keeping a high line and keeps him on. And he was able to do that nice little touch back and then right back in near corner.
And it's interesting because a couple different people took Gozo highlights and were like, guys like Taylor Twellman, guys that are like national guys.
Stu Holden
was like, maybe we ought to give this Gozo kid another look-see before we close up camp.
Oh my gosh.
Team.
Oh yeah.
Watch this kid dribble, and it showed his goal. Well, Solans' goal, but he's dribbling and running at pace, and the defenders are backing up because they know, and he goes to the right and cuts back and makes him turn and then lays the ball off, which we score on. But Stu Holden's getting in there, getting a lot of publicity. The young buck.
Yeah, and then you have people on the know-it-alls on the internet.
Yeah,
there's somebody on Twitter. I think I won't mention who, but they were talking about they were going after Stu for saying that, and then it says, well, Xavier was meh at the U20 World Cup. I'm like, what?
And he scored a goal. He had an assist.
And then he said they only played 3 or 4 games for RSL, and I'm like, Gozo might not be ready for the U.S. men's national team, but he wasn't meh at the U20.
No.
And tell me you don't watch Real Salt Lake without telling me you don't watch Real Salt Lake.
Dude.
Because Gozo was the entire offense last year, or at least the catalyst of which the offense turned. That's what they did all season, is send it down the right side and then hope for the best.
Well, that's a good thing to bring up, because who's the coach, Pochettino or whatever? You got to think what we've been doing for the past 8 years, last 2 World Cups. Has it been good?
No, we've gone through coaches,
and we've also chosen players that were safe choices, people that are like experienced to do all that stuff.
Yep.
But we don't need experience. We need Miracle on Ice, 1980 something. We need talent.
Not to get out of the first round, not to get past Australia. I'm talking about the knockout stages, right? That's where we need somebody like him that'll do that work. And we do kind of have someone like him in Brendan Aronson, who is a different kind of player. He's a couple years ahead. He's got Premier League experience.
See, but
he just won an FA Cup.
See, but that's what I
not the FA Cup, but they made it to the semifinal.
It's kind of funny because it's just like, okay, yeah, he doesn't have experience playing on the USA team, but it's like, okay, but at what level does he need to be? Because right now he's showcasing that he is a top MLS striker, winger right now. I mean, above and beyond everybody else, and he just barely turned 19.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like he's slowing down or...
And do you go with a safe choice like a Seattle Christian Roldan
Not a chance.
type choice, or do you go with a kid who could come on and run at people late in the game and scare the crap out of them and Thierry Henry it into the goal, right? Like,
that's the best way to put it, because you look at the way he runs, you look at the way he dribbles, you look at like his balance, all that stuff. It is a high level player. It is not a typical guy.
Yeah, and Christian Roldan can't do that. He can play a little better defensive mid, so I hate to compare the two. And maybe that's not fair to Christian for the player he is, but
Well, yeah, you look at France and you're like, doesn't really matter who we put in.
If we end up playing France.
Yeah, so it's like, why are we putting in the typical? Like, let's see if anybody can flourish.
So the first half ended 1-0.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And slightly disappointingly.
Yeah.
Because we pretty much dominated, probably should have been 3.
There was another play, the one-on-one, Solans with the keeper, and that pass by Stein. Oh my gosh. That's
beautiful.
That's the
Perfectly
kind of
rated.
stuff we have not seen at RSL.
Him and Guy Lavogie, dude.
Guy Lavogie, and even some of the young kids, has Arcani, Gozo's playing incredibly well. Luna has come in, and I think he's got to feel great that he doesn't have to. He probably puts a lot of pressure on himself anyway.
Yeah.
But how nice is it for him that he doesn't have to do that? Maybe once he relaxes, he gets back into his form, gets a few more minutes under him, he can just relax and play the game and not have to worry about being anything other than the great player that he is. And, man, I think RSL, the future looks really, really bright this season. We'll see how it plays out. But, yeah, RSL goes in. What do you think of that play? The pass was,
Pass was great. And Solans broke away. And you slow down. You do that as an offensive player because that if the guy comes in from behind, it's going to be a red card.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't worry about the guy behind you. You just worry about what's in front of you. Right? So Ethan Bartlow, who basically got his butt kicked all first half. And he so much so that he was subbed at half, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Right after this play. Because I could just see him going, oh, you deserved a red, but I'm not going to give it to you because this game will get out of hand. But then, red carding him in the second half after something innocuous. So maybe it was a protective move by the coach, but maybe not. But Serge is in. He's one-on-one with the keeper. And right as he pulls back to shoot, Bartlow just shoves him right in the back. Now, if you've ever shot a soccer ball and had someone push you as you shoot, it affects your shot. It doesn't matter if they push your left shoulder while you're shooting right-footed or your right shoulder. You can't kick the ball where you want to kick it if someone shoves either of your shoulders with the force that he did in that situation. So for me, it's as he pulls back. It's with enough force. I have no idea why that's not a red card. Listening to the announcers, they all tended to agree. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much a foul. He's probably going out. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, Mr. Tim Ford, is it Tim?
Tim Ford.
It's not Larry H. Miller Ford?
No.
Okay.
No, it was Garf.
Okay.
Stephen Garf Ford.
Yeah. So he says no foul on the play. I don't know how. Right? Just like last week when Mr. Musa, was that Musa? Is that his name?
Moist.
The guy from San Diego.
Oh.
Didn't foul Gozo in the box.
Dua or whatever.
2 week Dua.
Oh, yeah.
So guess what? 2 weeks ago he doesn't get the call for against Gozo, but this week he gets red carded in like the 13th minute or something. I can't remember. But San Diego got clobbered by San Jose because he clocked a guy, and they were like, "Yep, red card." So he got tossed out of that game. So he's learning his lesson, but slowly. Anyway, back to this game. I think you have to call that a red card. You have to.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I think
this is a good question, by the
way. You could say it's negligible
question.
Force, I guess. That's the only thing you can say. But just to say, oh, no foul occurred, don't say that. We want an explanation. You stopped the game. You looked at the tape. You did the work. Tell us why it's not a penalty. Don't say no foul on the play. Say not enough force to call it a foul. Fine.
Yeah, I think this gets called against other players, other teams. RSL might even get the same call in a couple of weeks. It just depends on the game. It's a call like the Duo one where it's close, and people will argue that it wasn't a foul and we got to let the defenders be defensive and play physical. But I do think that if it's someone else, it gets the call.
And he didn't make a play on the ball. That's what drives me nuts.
Oh, see, you got to throw that away. That's an old ruling. Refs aren't doing that. The play on the ball doesn't really have much hold anymore.
But if you're going in straight armed on somebody.
So now, this is how I would see. If you are behind the person who is with the ball, you cannot physically touch them, right? Because you are not in a position to make a challenge. So the fact that he is touching him in the back, that should be a penalty regardless, right?
Right, but
however,
then you just poke him and annoy him. How much of this is...
Well, honestly, because when you think about it, you're one-on-one with the keeper. All of a sudden you feel something on your back. That's going to change how you are going to analyze the situation. But I think the biggest thing here is the possession of the ball that you're talking about. When he goes to kick, he does not have a good control of that ball, and the goalie has already closed the distance so much that even though he pushing him from the back, if that didn't occur, he's still blocking that ball. That heavy touch from Solans was really bad. That first touch was okay. The second one was the one that really ruined it, and the goalie came in very hot and got it. So in my opinion, I think because he's behind him and it's a substantial push, that should be a red card throughout the league. But I also see his point when he says, hey, it's not enough because of the situation, how he doesn't have full control of the ball and the goalie is already
too close.
The keeper is already in it.
If they're going to be consistent and that's how they're going to call that, fine.
Yeah.
And I think it was in keeping with how Ford called the game. I mean, he didn't pull out a yellow till the 80 something minute.
Oh yeah, and Miller had at least 8 fouls on Solans.
So Gozo got away with a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of physicality up that right side where it was like, okay,
both of them back
how
and
many
forth.
times? I think
he had a shiner in the post game. Gozo did.
Yeah. I mean,
you could tell he
rightfully
punched him in
so,
the eye.
man. Because like there was when you watching on the Apple TV, there was a couple times where you saw the guys go like 3, 4. Come on, like how many times are you going to allow this before you get a card? So it was kind of honestly, I would not want to see a game ran that way again. I think they allowed a little too much. I think a yellow card should have been put out a lot sooner.
There was one play where maybe it was Miller. They kind of clipped. I think it was Solans, or I think it clipped him on the ankle, took him down in the first half. Where, I think he could have pulled out a yellow a little sooner. I don't mind if you're going to call the game that way. Let him play. Let him play.
Right, persistent infringement, right?
Yeah, but he ran. It didn't get away from him, but he did run the risk of the game getting away from him, and especially in a game like this. And I asked Gozo after the in the post game. It's like you're the nicest guy I've ever seen, but do you look like you like to get under the skin of your opponents? And he goes, "Oh yeah,
oh yeah."
So I was fine with the way the game was called. I thought, and a lot of that comes back to the scoreline too, 3-1, right? If RSL gives up a goal and it's 2-2 or something, then everybody's a little less congenial about it.
If he's doing that to Olatunji the whole time, Olatunji's going to start doing it back. Olatunji's going to start laying into him. Olatunji's going to start dropping elbows in his throat. You know what I mean? Like, that's what an experienced player is going to do. I think Solans is still so young and so excited to be on the field that he's just like,
oh, dude,
I got to take the beating.
He is all goal oriented. He wants to get that ball in the goal. Like, it's so nice to see his whole mentality and his aggression he has, because it's not that type of what you're saying, like where it's, what's that, like, what do they call it?
Consistent infringement or what?
Persistent infringement?
Or
for goal.
Where they're like, like they're doing all the
gamesmanship
on whatever the non-controllables. I don't know what words you say. But what you see is it's just like this pure form of just pure striker, get the ball in the goal.
Which brings me back to Nicholas Anelka. Now, for you who don't know who Nicholas Anelka is, go look up Finishing by Nicholas Anelka. And he played in the Premier League. He played for Chelsea. And he led the Premier League multiple years in a row in goals. And he was so good at getting in behind. And he had this really killer finish. He didn't try to just pass it past the goalie's foot. He would put his foot in the ground and it'd pick a side. And he would dribble past the goalie every time. He sometimes he'd make a fake, but he scored so many goals. And I think we've lost that art. I think people are teaching kids to shoot early while they have an angle, which you should when it's easy, right? When you're like, okay, keeper's there, I'm shooting. But so many times you're running full speed at the keeper and you just kick it at the keeper because that's all you see. Have some class. Move the ball to the right. Go left. Mix it up. Try to go through his legs. But don't just kick it at him. So uninventive. So, man, it's so easy to defend as a goalie. You hold your ground. You stay between them and the goal. And you just try to react. Guess what's much harder as a goalie? When the guy just turns to the right and makes a 10-yard run to the right. You know how hard that is for a goalie to recover from that? It's so difficult. You're coming out at them, and now all of a sudden you have to turn and run back at a 30-degree acute angle.
It's called a bisectrix. So
There
you're trying to be in the middle of the two greatest options that they have in the width, but it's actually pretty easy.
To cut back?
Yeah, it's actually easier. So if you go straight at them, you're holding off. You're trying to get the right bisectrix. But the thing is if they're staying there, your goalie could be off and favoring one side. So you want to take that shot. But if you allow that time for the goalie to reset, he's going to be able to find the more natural center of those two greatest angles.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is drift off to one side.
That's what I'm saying. It actually favors the goalie. But unless you're talking about you're coming in at an angle, so the goal is a certain width at your angle, and if you move to make the width of the goal bigger, then that's in your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because the keeper can't see the goal behind you.
Oh, but they know.
They know, but either you have a nice spot to see it in, or you cut early, and they can't keep up with you. Look up Nicholas Anelka, watch that guy finish, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. He'll throw a fake in there, and the keepers are just diving on their face and can't recover. So good. So good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so it's 1-0 at halftime. RSL comes out, and I thought it was really interesting. The game was kind of not on a knife edge, but you could kind of feel that the fans were kind of like, what's going to happen, right? Who's going to get the next goal? Is Kansas City going to make this a game? Because RSL is the better team, and they're playing better, and they're not putting them away.
Yeah, and the last 10 minutes of the first half were kind of wah. Mostly because Brant left the press box.
I had to go buy something for Easter.
That's what he said.
That's what I did.
And he did.
I did. I had things to do. I was on a mission. So anyway, second half, Kansas City came out, and they kind of were on the front foot. I thought, they're putting the pressure on, and as it turned out, RSL got a lovely counter. Oh, man. It was just a beautiful play. I think it started on the right side. Was it it might have been Glad or Quentin that found Gilavogi, and then talking.
And right before that.
Okay, go ahead.
Right before that, Luna 3 or 4 times in the first half tried back heels. And you know me, and back heels. And so what did I say every time we lost the ball to a back heel? Quit doing back heels.
And then Guy Lavogie totally showed you up and did a beautiful back heel Meg.
Right.
Did you see that? It
Yes.
was a Meg too.
He didn't just back heel it. He side footed it through.
Oh, dude, it was delicious.
Flick on
Meg, the
was
defender.
So yummy.
Gozo gets it in stride, takes it down.
Yeah, carry on. Sorry, I just needed to.
Well, that's the difference between this year and last year. RSL has got players. It's a system. Justin Glad is finding people left and right. Philip Quinton is making those line-breaking passes left and right with Gozo down the right. So it's been really fun to watch. But the thing about that, Gilavogi gets the lovely touch and frees.
And Gozo's inside now, right? And you're like, kids all over the place.
So Gozo's taking it, but what does Gilavogi do? He turns and beats it down there too, because as Gozo, you're watching the play, he's turning the defenders. He's got options because what do they do? Because Gilavogi's coming down the right side behind him.
That's 3-on-2 now.
Spreads out the field. He hits Solans, and how do you describe it? Because he's going left, and he catches the ball with his right outside of his right foot and touches it back
and pulls it back in a way that obviously Miller didn't anticipate, because it took him 3 steps to stop after that. So I mean, and to your point earlier, it looked like Gozo was going to play him in
earlier.
Yeah, and he didn't, but it ended up working out.
And he sat down Poolskamp too, because Poolskamp thought he was going to the right.
Post.
Oh, because he was sucked in near post so far, he had to cut back.
But he could tell Miller was nowhere close to recovering.
Dude, yeah. Because he, honestly, if he didn't do near post, he could have had a pretty average far post curler, and it would have worked too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in a solid position because that defender overran so quick.
Yeah.
And I love it when they just pass it in. And that's got to be infuriating for the goalie. You turn and watch it just going.
Well, and for Solans against Miller clocked him 4 or 5 times at least in the first half. And so for him to kind of embarrass him a little bit and sit down the goalie and, then go celebrate. Did you see his celebration too? It was kind of like, I know, he just laid on his face and then was like, I know, I probably should have scored already, right? Just lay on the grass.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about it, and I think you said, we need another one. And I said, we need 2 more.
That's what he said.
I did.
What did your brother say?
I said that.
He didn't say anything. He wasn't there.
And turns out we needed it because Kansas City didn't have a lot of opportunities. They had one early where they got one-on-one with the keeper, and Cabral went down to his right. It was an easy save, but it was a nice shot. After
a series of passes, too.
Yeah, because
Harris had a couple opportunities.
There was some glimpses of Kansas City having something there, but that set the first goal from Kansas City. As much as I talked about Engel having the intangibles, this one he has had some moments this year, some bad passes, but he kind of got slipped, and he got the ball caught under his feet, and I don't know what he was thinking, but he wasn't thinking enough, and he fell down, turnover, and Kansas City was really quick, pass to the left, to the right, and then back across. Joveljic is at the top of the box, and
Joveljic is good, man.
What a great ball! That was a great ball. Didn't that kiss the bar too?
Yeah, his first touch wasn't great, but his strike was fan-freaking-tastic. Mm-hmm. And he just put it in off the post. Nothing Cabral could do.
See, that's the hiccup we need to iron out, because it's happening. Like, for how much Cabral has been able to do, and so I mean, he's come up with big saves like every single game. We need to have more clean sheets for that guy.
See, we asked about that in the post game. You know, everybody gets all starry-eyed when we win because we scored 3 goals, but we gave up 2. I mean, the guy was offside by half a step.
Oh, if that.
Right? It was close.
It was super close.
So
I'm surprised it didn't go to VAR.
I kind of called that out in the post game. Like, well, didn't really get a clean sheet. Were we a little concerned about the defensive side of the ball? Like, we dominated. We had passes, but the chances we give up are really good chances, though. So,
yeah, we've scored 12 goals, and we've given up 8.
Which is great. So, 4 positive goal differential, which is one of my favorite ways to gauge how Real's doing on the year.
Well, but the big thing is we're having moments that are going against us that are a little too close for comfort. So even in all these wins, there's still multiple chances in these games where we are getting by. Cabral being big, or they're missing just a little bit. The other one was off the post. Like, there's so many of these hiccups that are happening that we need to iron out. Because for your worries about the beginning of the season going into like all these great teams, I'm kind of surprised at the level of these teams. They're not as great as I was expecting. And so now when we get to this turn before we still got how many more games before the World Cup?
About halfway, about 8.
8 games?
Well, 7 because we'll play 14 games because next week we would be playing Seattle,
but we had to reschedule.
It got moved to later.
It's like September. But yeah, these hiccups are going to be disastrous when we really need the 3 points. But we got to figure out a way
to not cause them.
Well, that's like the difference between this year and last year is I think we have characters, a broad term, but I think we have players that a little more character, a little more drive. The chemistry on the team, they just cannot stop talking about the chemistry on this team, how much they like each other. The new players are talking about what a great place this is to play. It's the most welcoming they've ever felt. So there's the intangibles are carrying us along with the talent. So I think this was a great game to get the victory because that kind of stuff just builds on itself. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take much to destroy chemistry, but they're doing a great job hanging on to it right now. And you could kind of feel it, at least I could. Maybe I just worry too much about it. But we were up 2-0. I thought we got to get another one. And then Kansas City came up with a great goal. It was a beautiful play. Turnover, 3 passes, and the ball's in the back of the net. And then after that, it's like, man, it took a long time. The game kind of hung in the balance just a little bit. Kansas City had a few opportunities, it felt like, and RSL finally got the 3rd goal, which was it felt like after Kansas City's goal, they kind of had the game for 5-10 minutes, and then RSL kind of calmed down and started really putting pressure on Kansas City's goal, because the 3rd goal from RSL was after they were down in the box multiple times. Stein had a back heel that was really nice. That really bothered Tyler, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And the ball went across, and then it was up on the right side. Talking about keeping up with the game, RSL's third goal, there was some people say, hey, man, Quentin got away with a foul. But if you watch it, I think Kansas City guy went down way too easy, like he was trying to buy it and just get
Kansas City did that quite a few times.
Do we want to talk about the third goal now?
Well, we already did, didn't we?
Well, no.
Well, so one thing I don't agree with, I didn't feel that SKC really had opportunity after that first goal. Like the natural, back and forth, it still felt heavily in favor of RSL. Even though they were coming into our third, it still felt really rigid from our back line and also our midfield. They were moving the ball, but it wasn't in that panic type of feeling. You know what I mean? Like the players on the field seemed to be pretty secure with themselves. And then when we were able to transfer it back, we kind of came back with like a real fury. Like we were very dynamic, and it was kind of when you're playing, like you're on a soccer team, like if you're a soccer player, you're always in those one games where you're kind of being arrogant with your teammates. Like you're all kind of like, dude, we're going to win this game. Like we don't really, like our passes at the top of the box aren't as clean. Like we're kind of just like more casual. They're not pressing us. You had that in that later half before that third goal. Like when we were passing at the top of the box, it was like, dude, they are comfortable. They are not pressured. Like they have this confidence. And then that goal came out of that confidence, I felt. But I wasn't in the stadium.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that, I think, in stadium, too.
I just had PTSD.
Really?
When it comes to RSL and, like, giving up. RSL gave up more goals from a winning point all season last year. They led the league.
Yeah, but we can't.
They gave up.
Yeah, but also, you got to think, now that we're in a true three-man back line, Vera was kind of a big issue for last season. Obviously, the DPs were not DPs, and they were a huge issue because we were always playing with 10.5 men. But you look at it now, there is this more natural play, like natural defense, natural offense. Like it's more ebbs and flows now rather than, oh crap, they have the ball, they're going to score, we got to stop them and then somehow get the ball on the other side.
Yeah, I don't know that I felt that as much as the longer it stayed 2-1, the more the chance of a turnover,
some fluke
turnover allows a team like Kansas City, who is scrapping and clawing to get a point, to
some random clearance, just not being trapped by our goal.
I didn't feel that. But maybe I just have confidence in this, like way more confidence before. No, it's not a bad thing, man. I'm just saying.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So the ball goes out wide. Quentin sticks his arm out.
Closing my eyes so I can see this.
It looks like it might be a clothesline, but the guy falls straight down to his knees instead of acting like he got chopped in the throat.
Oh.
Then the ball comes back in.
It went
Caliscan makes a run wide.
The
ball's played into Caliscan, who cuts it back against the grain, who's Gozo, who's right at the top of the box. Mm-hmm. And in the post-game show,
now we're jumping to the post-game. Hold on.
Yeah, we're jumping to the post-game.
I had my eyes closed. Now we left me on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, hang in there.
Okay.
Hang in there.
Okay.
In the post-game, we said, that first touch.
What about it?
Were you trying to kick it up to get some bounce on that ball? He's like, no, I totally mishit it, bro.
Really?
That's what he said in the post.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So, but I've seen a lot of people do that. A lot of this next generation guys, the cross will come in and they'll pop it up to themselves and then volley it. And I was joking around with a couple different people about, like, do you practice that? Is that something you practice now? Is that something they do? And yeah, so the jury's out on if that's practiced. But he said it was kind of an accident, and then he felt he had to make it up, but then it was still right there, and he's like, go for goal. And then boom, smashed it in the side netting. Fantastic strike. Up for goal of the week. Go vote for it on x.com. X.
And, well, MLS. Wherever you vote for goal of the week, go do that.
I vote on X.
Yeah, don't just vote Like, go online and vote. Don't just say you vote.
I vote for Gozo.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work if you just say you vote.
I declare bankruptcy.
So 82nd minute, a stunner of a goal, and RSL goes up 3-1. And then, like we said, Kansas City, they didn't go away. I mean, they kept coming at them, and it was the play for that second goal for Kansas City that was offside. And I watched it, I was like,
barely.
Like, yeah, how did they measure that? Like, the EPL might have the offside thing come out, and it's like,
his elbow,
his knee or something. It was that close. It looked like,
yeah, way closer than I thought at first.
But the pass split the center backs and put him on again up against Cabral, and he just chipped it over.
Wasn't Quinton manning him?
Was
it Quinton or was
I think I think he was closer to the right side, but they split the center backs, and he found his space. I think he got behind Glad.
Yeah, it was interesting.
And but it was late, and it was offside, and I think after that,
it was pretty solidified.
Yeah, it was pretty solidified, but didn't get down to that barn burner.
The intervals did say that Kansas City won the last 15 minutes of the game, but whatever.
Well, the scoreline 3-1, they're going to be pushing harder than RSL.
Right, which we could just absorb, and we made defensive subs to counteract it. And for me, the interesting stat of the game.
Jesus.
We love that guy. It was Easter Sunday.
Don't say it, dude.
Are you
going to say expected goal?
No!
Okay.
Long ball.
Long ball?
Yeah. We hit 50% of our long balls. Technically 49, but we're calling it 50.
Round up.
Yeah. They hit 31% of their long balls.
Completed, you mean?
Yeah, like long balls completed. So
and I think that's a huge thing that's changed this year. The long balls, the breaking lines, passes
game for sure.
Well, Guy Lavoie, his first game, he did that. Same with Quinton. Quinton had a couple up the right side. The long ball on the ground, long ball vertical,
Chicks dig the long ball.
Way to ruin the whole podcast.
Ruined the whole mood,
dude.
Sorry,
no,
my phone. Oh my God, sir.
That was my point. Chicks dig the long ball.
Okay.
Brent got all flustered, dropped his phone.
I know. It's terrible.
Yeah. All right. Orange slices. Brennan, who you got?
Oh, Sergey Solans.
Sergey.
Solans, by far, I think he has a better start to this season than Emeka Nelly did. I think Emeka Nelly, obviously, he was way better than anybody expected. But Sergey...
He did really well, right?
Yeah. Sergey is making it incredibly hard for Olatunji to come in. And it's honestly Olatunji is amazing.
Yeah.
Great. I am a huge Olatunji fan. This guy is going to change the club. But it's how they have it set it right now, Sergey has to have a bad game for the next game for Olatunji to start.
Yeah.
That is unheard of. A guy that just barely came into the league, and he's holding off.
Especially a college guy.
Yeah, he's holding off somebody who should be a DP.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for that guy right now.
Impressive, huh?
Yeah, and I don't even the fact that he missed 3 shots that were so good.
Crossbar.
He deserved to get those shots because he did the work to get in the preparation for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Beautiful. Brent.
Oh, yeah, it's a tough one.
Thanks. I've been doing some stuff, and it's just...
I love the intangibles.
It's sit in the airplane,
Tough not
the
to give it to...
The intangibles. See, where was...
The orange intangibles.
That's where
I was looking for that word.
Okay,
intangibles.
I'll edit it back there. Intangible. The intangibles.
What's that word? Intangible. I don't know. Sorry.
No Spurgle. I'm going to give it to the obvious. I think Gozo. I'll give it to Gozo because he was all over the place. I love the fact that he gets under the defender's skin, and he's out there just being a silent little assassin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give it. There's a lot of orange slices go around, but I'll give it to Gozo to take it from Tyler.
Okay.
That's good.
I'll go with Luna. Yeah, he started off on the front foot, played a great game especially defensively. he had a ton of like interceptions where he was anticipating and jumping routes, and probably could have had 2 goals, maybe 3. But he was being a passer, facilitator, and got his goal early, set the tone. Great game from Diego. Glad he's back, and I'm pretty sure that means he's a starter now, right? Mm-hmm. He's got his spot back, even though Aiden played pretty well in his
And
early.
Aiden picked up a knock, so we'll see that.
Oh, yeah, that was nerve-wracking.
Oh, big takeaways from the game, but before we do that, we did talk to Andrew Brody for a second.
Yeah.
He said he retired.
Yep. We just saw him getting some grub, heading to his seats, wearing the Jordan Allen jersey. And his wife was wearing the Brody jersey. Yeah. And I was like, that's Andrew Brody. And so we just went up and started talking to him. And
Where was this?
Just at the game.
At the game.
He's in concessions.
Yeah.
He was just at the game. I think he went down. They recognized him down on the field.
Yeah. He didn't want to say anything. He's kind of a shy guy. But, he said he's retired. He told us. Inside scoop.
Wow.
Breaking news.
And we ran into Luka Moises' dad.
Yeah.
Great guy. And he wanted to clear up. What did he want to clear up, Tyler?
Yeah, I had said that Luka trained with the first team through all of last season, and that was not true.
He wanted to clear that up.
He only got 2 or 3 first team sessions last year. So
That is actually pretty
point of
substantial,
clarity.
though. Yeah.
But just enough that, and that was one of the practices I was actually at, and he could tell he belonged, right? So that was kind of why I had that insight to think that he would be a player that could push for first team minutes, which made the bench again, but no appearance. So
Well, it's really hard.
Good luck.
Spearings and Caliscan are.
Yeah.
Well, and Spearings is coming on strong, so.
But Moise is a talent. And we want to thank Moise's dad because he said he listens. So thank you. And we want to make sure we cleared that up.
Wow.
Yep. And we would have given him an orange slice if he would have gotten the game, but since he didn't. We met his mom, too. Nice lady.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good conversations, yeah. So that's what happens when you hang out with Mr.
Family.
I'll talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, your small talk is insane.
All right, big
By the way, if you
takeaways.
see us at the game, come see us and talk to us. We're the guys that
Yeah,
say
please do,
random
man.
fan on the back of our jerseys, and I'm 33, Tyler.
You're 33?
Yeah, my jersey is,
Oh,
says random fan 33.
I was like, yeah, and I'm 19.
Oh, I'm 51.
I'm a 37-year-old guy that looks like a 15-year-old, 17-year-old model. I love that guy. I was following him before he got big. That good guy. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
And everybody was making fun of him, but yeah.
I need to get another jersey.
Yeah.
Mine says 21, but
48.
so
Nice.
big takeaways. Passing on this team is really good. Those are the three things that I took away from the game. We talked about it quite a bit. For me, passing on this team is really good. 2, still need to work on staying locked in during the game. They go up 2-0 and Angle has a bit of a turns off. And
I think he just slipped, bro.
No, he put pressure on and he was trying. He just should have passed it, cleared it, or did something with it, and then he fell down. And then the third thing, this is a game that last season more often than not gets away from RSL because we led the league in giving up points from a winning position. So those are my 3 big takeaways. You guys have any takeaways? Any big takeaways? It's gonna take off. We're gonna make this a thing. It's gonna take off. Yeah.
My big takeaways, you got to give the Capri Sun to Caliscan. He was not existent. And when he's not existent, he's doing his job. And he's controlling a lot of things.
He's got the back covered.
He's got transition covered. He's got offense covered. He's got, he's getting in between passes really, really well. So what he has done has really improved the overall team. The other thing was how their body language on the field has changed. And I can't say that enough because I'm constantly trying to get players to recognize their body language when something negative happens.
Yeah.
After that goal, you did not see any sort of negative body language that would carry through more than just that scenario. They they were like a goldfish. They had 6 seconds, they thought about it, and then they were back in the game. So I think the maturity of the team is probably the biggest thing, and the fact that they were able to just move on and play in the present. It's hard to do.
Nice. My big takeaway, I'm just going with one, and it was I loved how many times we just jumped in the passing lanes and won the ball. It was so good. We were so on top of where they wanted to play. It's like we watched their tape and like read
That's
where
one
they
thing
were
we
going.
even did that really well last season, because the big teams that came in, we didn't allow them to score that much, given the four
LAFC,
but even then
excluded.
But still, whatever Pablo is doing, he is very good at stopping a lot of attack.
Thank you for those big takeaways, much appreciated. So RSL gets the big win, 3-1 over Kansas City. So for a second there, they were in second place, but they played some more games in RSL now. Sits in fourth place in the Western Conference. And their next opponent is San Diego in 2 weeks. And San Diego we have 13 points, and they have 11, surprisingly. So, and they play Minnesota. San Diego plays Minnesota, so they could jump us. But who would have thought after 7-8 games that we would be right there with San Diego, above them, or who knows, a point below them.
Yeah, and Dua got that red card, which I was hoping he'd serve against us, but no, I thought that would have been poetic justice. But as it sits, he'll sit out against Minnesota. So see how that goes.
All right, and now it's time for Come On Crawley update.
Come on, Crawley.
It's been a rough year, so we've kind of, didn't want to talk about it too much. But we did have a nice run there. We got a new coach. Scott Lindsay was shown the door. And the new guy, Colin, he's a former Premier League player, Kazima, something like that. I'll learn it. I'll remember it. Sooner or later. It'll take me a minute. But we won the first 2 games, picked up 6 valuable points, and then today we lost. 2-0.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
2-0. They played Grimsby Town. They had 3 games.
That was this morning, right?
Yeah, and 2-0. They had a horrible first half. They gave up 2 goals. And Jason Williams got a red card for the dumbest reason.
Wait, what's the dumbest reason to get a red card?
Kicking the ball at somebody.
Oh, at somebody?
Yeah.
No, there's way dumber reasons.
Well, that's
mouthing off, at least
spitting.
At least kicking the ball at somebody, you get the satisfaction of having kicked a ball at somebody.
But in the EFL, you can be, you get a red card 1 to 3 games.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can be out 3 games, and there's only like 5 games to go, and your captain, the guy that's solidified.
Was he the captain?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, it gets worse. So, yeah, they are right there fighting off relegation. The Grimsby, they played Grimsby Town today, and they are fighting for trying to get into 7th place. They're a few points off of there. 3 points off of 7th place, so they had something to play for. Crawley's in 20th, 37 points.
But only 1 point out of the drop zone. Yikes.
No, they're 3 points out of the drop zone because only 2 teams go down in League 2 down to the National League. So Barrow and Harrogate Town.
Wheelbarrow and Harrogate Town.
Yep. So 37, and they've got 4 games left.
Yikes.
Right?
Hopefully they play Walsall again.
Because they play 46 games. They got through. Yeah, so it's
Old Chestertonville.
4 games left. It's going to be tight, but hopefully...
Remember on Mr. Deeds when he says he lives in Cold Chestertonville?
Hopefully Jason Williams won't be out, but just the 1 game. So, nail biter time. Like I said, promotion relegation is fantastic if your team's not in there. Yeah, and most of the people that are all for promotion relegation have never had their team relegated.
That's why I hate promotion relegation.
So
I want to beat the same teams every time. Don't want new teams coming in.
Yep. So we also stay tuned. We have a special interview coming up. Breaking news. I spoke with Fabian Rankel, a great guy.
Fabian Rankel?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. We had a great conversation talking about him, how he started as a podcaster. Just kind of like everyone else is trying to do, like we talked about, the democratization of journalism and the sports scene in Major League Soccer. He's a part of Fantasy Kickbase, the fantasy soccer app for MLS.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah.
We should do
Let's do
fantasy
it.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
MLS fantasy.
You're going to have to teach us.
I've never done it. I've never done it.
I used to do it, but
I haven't done it.
I had to spend a lot of time.
Because then whoever loses has to do like one of
2-game
those
weeks.
things where like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to sit in a bar from like open to close,
Shirtless.
and then every drink you get is like 1 hour off the clock,
Or like a Waffle House.
or you have to wear a dress and play 9 holes.
Yeah, let's
You would
do
look great
that.
in a dress.
Golf.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
It's my ripped
Your calves?
calves that
Calves?
really
I mean,
would
yeah.
look pretty good in the
They
dress.
would, yeah.
My butt would not look so good.
Really? Oh,
It's
that's
too
tough.
big, man.
I'll get you a squirt.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So look for that interview. It's coming out this week. I'll get it up.
Imagine you in leggings. Like get those booty leggings that they have at the gym.
Okay,
Well-
stop. You're grossing people out.
He's got Angela's leg warmers on. From the 80s. From the 90s. So yeah, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. Like we said, come up and talk to us. And leave us a comment, positive, negative, whatever you want to do. But please, we'd appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube and follow us wherever you get your social media. And yeah, we do try and do a lot of stuff on TikTok. I kind of like it. So
He kind of likes it.
yeah, I might be the oldest guy on TikTok, but who knows?
You'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of guys these old guys that do dances. They're
boy.
they're like old construction workers.
Hopefully you don't go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wait, you already did.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for
And
listening.
we'll see you later on that note.